guys? This is Mateo's 2020 Politics here. You may be noticing I'm not uploading much. That's mainly because this is a political channel, and COVID-19 has just been absolutely dominating the airways. Like, when you look at CNN and other news channels, 90% of it is about COVID-19. You'd be lucky to find some YouTube video from one of those major YouTube channels, mainstream media channels, that does not have to do with COVID-19. So, this isn't a COVID-19 channel, this isn't a scientific channel. And I'm not exactly just limited to politics, but that's what this channel is mainly about. You see me making some videos on the virus, but mainly it's political. So if I've been uploading much, that's why. And that's also the reason why I created the presidential election series, so I have something political to do. So anyway, on to today's topic. Who should Joe Biden pick as his running mate? So there's been speculation of Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, the governor of Michigan. Sorry, I forgot her name, and even Hillary Clinton. Oh, and Michelle Obama also had some suspicion, but I don't think Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama would want to run because the Obamas have made it very clear that they don't want to run for any office. They just want to live their peaceful lives and leave politics, which does make a lot of sense. Hillary Clinton, I just don't think she wants to run again for anything. I don't think she feels like doing it. And she already said, oh no, I won't be the running mate. I'll just support the eventual nominee. So basically, she and Michelle have ruled it out. So other options, we mainly have Elizabeth Warren, the governor of Michigan, who I'm sorry I forgot the name of. She isn't that popular anyways. And we also have Amy Klobuchar. And then in addition to that, we also have Kamala Harris and oh my goodness, so Stacey Abrams. So the most popular option is probably Stacey Abrams, but I feel like the option of Stacey Abrams and Kamala Harris to be in running mate are a bit overrated. Mainly because they might actually, if anything, not damage Joe Biden's campaign, but not help him either. They'd just be a bit of a waste. And this is mainly because they both are moderates and they both have black support. Now, you might be wondering, Mateo, what's so bad about black support? Well, that itself isn't bad. It's just that Joe Biden already has it. So, I mean, if you have black support already, that's your strength. So why would you pick somebody else with black support? Don't you need to spread out and appeal to new voters? I mean, Joe Biden has the white support too, mainly African American support, but we know that he very much lacks Latino support. So isn't it kind of common sense for him to pick somebody with Latino support so he can expand his base and not just solidify in African Americans and white voters? So already then, Kamala Harris and Stacey Abrams, I would kind of rule out because it'd be a bit of a waste to get somebody else with African American support on the Biden ticket. And also, they're both moderates. Kamala Harris more so, I believe, or maybe they're tied. I'm not too sure about Stacey Abrams. She isn't too much of a policy-driven politician. That might actually be a problem. But also the whole moderate v centrist v progressive thing also has to do with the whole don't pick somebody of your own kind. Just like if you have African American support, you shouldn't pick somebody else also with African American support. If you're a centrist, don't pick another centrist slash moderate, depending on how you define those terms. It's just a waste. You have to expand, you know? Many people say, well, why would you pick somebody who disagrees with you politically? Well, in this era where the Democratic Party is just super divided, if you're a progressive, you might need to pick a centrist as your running mate, and vice versa, to appeal to other voters. But with Joe Biden, I have the feeling is going to pick Stacey Abrams or Kamala Harris. I just get the sense he's leaning towards them. Also, knowing Joe Biden, he's known to be a bit stubborn, not really compromising, doesn't really want to change his issues or his ways. Just because of the fact that if you look at the debates, he has lots of trouble apologizing for bad things he's done in the past. He also has barely shifted towards the left. Here's his biggest appeal to Bernie supporters. Fine, I'll lower the Medicare age to 60. That's nothing. So just going by that, I don't really see Joe Biden as being enough of a flexible person to pick a progressive as his running mate or somebody who has Latino support because we know that he's a bit rigid in general. So he might end up picking Stacey Abrams and Kamala Harris, which once again aren't bad options, but they aren't great either. Personally, I believe that the best option would be of all these people. It's not even It's not even a great option, but the best of all these people it would probably be Elizabeth Warren. because look, she has her support is kind of wider. That's not great, but it's better than just having African American support, which Joe Biden already has. So that could help him a bit. Also, she's a progressive, but I don't really define her as too much of a progressive. You know, she kind of betrayed the progressive movement. That's the way us Bernie supporters feel. Bernie Bros. Fine calls that because from claiming Bernie Sanders said women can't be president to refusing to endorse them. Now we just think we're kind of spineless, and we kind of have the feeling she was just faking all of it because she was doing some political calculation to just use the progressive movement to her personal gain to become president. So we don't really trust her. That's the issue. I don't. If she were on the ticket, I don't even think that would encourage me the slightest bit to support Joe Biden. Maybe a little bit, just not too much. Because I'm sorry, I just don't really trust her. But Joe Biden's probably the type of person to say, "Hey, Elizabeth Warren, right? Yeah, Bernie supporters, you like her, right? Yeah, come on, she's a progressive like you guys." No, she's a bit too inconsistent. We don't love her, but and she wouldn't be the best. She wouldn't be the greatest running mate pick. But of the options we have, she's probably the best one, which is kind of upsetting to say because we don't have a great option. Somebody like AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, would have been perfect because A, she's very young, B, she is Latina, and C, she's a progressive. But of course, she's too young to actually run for president or run for any political office that has to do in the executive branch. She can't be the running mate. That's a problem because she would have been a great running mate. I don't love her. I do like her, and she very much could have reached out to progressive voters. Many Bernie supporters would have felt inspired, and many Latinos would have felt inspired. Many young voters, which Joe Biden also lacks. So, Elizabeth Warren would be an okay pick because she's somewhat of a progressive, but not the best. Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama would be all right picks because, as I mentioned before, they're all three of them are moderates, and all three of them also already have African American support, so it's kind of pointless to pick them. Now, moving on to Hillary Clinton, I don't think people are serious about Hillary Clinton. I mean, once again, she already ran last time and she lost, so she kind of lost trust in that field. She also is a centrist, more centrist than Joe Biden, which does not help at all. And people view her as being an elitist. She was also known for being a bit corrupted in 2016, from the email leaks to the whole Libyan Moore deal. She isn't seen as the cleanest politician, and she already says. Plus, she's already said she isn't going to run anyway, so it's kind of pointless to suspect that she will. And now, now for the last two options: Amy Klobuchar and the Michigan governor. So I don't know too much about the Michigan governor's policies. She isn't that well known, so it's kind of hard to know. It looks like she has done well in this COVID-19 crisis, but I just don't really know how she would do as running mate. I don't really know where her support base is. With Amy Klobuchar, I feel like she's also an overrated pick. People are saying, why not pick her? Well, look, she has mainly just white support. We saw that in the primaries. She really only performed well in Iowa and New Hampshire because they had mainly white support. And she just did kind of badly in Nevada and South Carolina because her support is Latino and African American, respectively. So she really just has white support, which Joe Biden, in addition to African American support, already does well in, so it's kind of pointless. And she is a moderate, which just wouldn't work out. Even more of a moderate slash centrist than Joe Biden. She's straight up against Medicare for all. Joe Biden's open to the public option. Then I hear the main argument for why she should be the running mate, which is actually a pretty good one, which is that she knows how to work across the aisle, which is true. We see that she's done lots of compromises, but can you really do Medicare for all in a compromise? No, we can't. We can't use compromises. We can't use the Ford compromises to officially legalize Medicare for all. So the whole compromise deal doesn't really help in 2020 because once again, in addition to the whole Medicare for all deal, we're in an era of severe polarization. There's no, hey, I'm a Democrat, but I can work across the aisle, right, Republicans? That doesn't really work anymore. So the whole argument of Amy Klobuchar knows how to work across the aisle is just kind of a bit dead now because it doesn't work in 2020, which is sad to say, but it's just the truth. So, going to summarization of the video, Hillary Clinton probably won't accept being a running mate. Also, Michelle Obama, Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, and Amy Klobuchar are all overrated picks. The Michigan governor, I just don't know much about to judge her. And with Amy, and no, sorry, so with Elizabeth Warren, she is the best option. She's the best option for running mate. So if I were Joe Biden right now, I would pick Elizabeth Warren as my running mate because, look, well, she isn't a super progressive. Well, I said a super progressive as if they were a species, and she does have somewhat of an inconsistent record, but she's the most progressive of those options for running mate, and she does have a diverse group of support, mainly white voters, though, so that would probably make her viable. Although, if I were Joe Biden, I probably wouldn't say I have to pick a woman, because then he's just playing the whole identity politics game. It doesn't matter what gender you are, what age you are, but it might matter in this case now, or what race you are. It matters your policies. It matters your policies. So if I were Joe Biden, I wouldn't say I have to pick a woman because it represents 50% of the country. That's a good argument, but you can't judge somebody by their gender. Do you know what represents over 50% of the country? Medicare for all. So if I were Joe Biden, I would have picked a male or female. It doesn't matter which gender as long as they're progressive. But since Joe Biden has pledged to only pick a female vice president, of the best option that he probably has is Elizabeth Warren. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video, and bye.